Elon Musk is a man of science, a man who builds rockets, plans life on Mars, and disrupts entire industries. But there's one question he's rarely asked, one that goes beyond physics and engineering, straight into the unknown. In a quiet interview, actor Rainn Wilson leaned forward and asked, "Do you have a spiritual life?" For a moment, the man who makes life-changing decisions daily paused. The air seemed to hold its breath. Musk finally answered, careful and deliberate. "Well, it sort of depends on what spiritual means. And there's certainly things that we don't understand about the universe. But I'm less convinced that there's some superconsciousness watching over our every movement and kind of evaluating it against some criteria and deciding whether we're going to go to one place or another when we die. That's unlikely." He didn't outright deny God. But he also didn't accept the idea of a divine overseer. The billionaire's words hung heavy. The man guiding humanity toward the stars doesn't believe there's anyone guiding him? But Rainn wasn't done. He leaned in, curious, pressing further. "What do you worship?" he asked. "What would Elon Musk, the richest, boldest mind of our time, say?" Without flinching, Elon gave his answer. No hesitation, no second-guessing. "I don't really worship anything. But I do devote myself to the advancement of humanity using technology." There it was. No gods, no rituals, no higher being. Just raw dedication to science and progress. But Rainn pushed deeper. "Do you pray?" he asked, almost unable to believe Musk's unwavering logic. The world waited. "I don't," Elon replied simply. Then he dropped a bombshell. "I didn't even pray when I almost died of malaria." No prayers. Not even at death's door. What kind of man faces death, runs billion-dollar companies, launches humans into space, and still doesn't fold his hands, whisper a plea, or look up to the sky? The silence was deafening. Yet, Elon wasn't finished. He added something deeper, more unsettling. "It does beg the question, if there is some superconsciousness, where did the superconsciousness come from?" A chilling logic. Elon believed in complexity evolving from simplicity. No magic, no divine spark. Just the cold, beautiful march of science. But what drove him to this belief? The answer lay in his childhood. Long before SpaceX, before Tesla, there was a boy named Elon Musk, growing up curious and restless. The interview shifted. Musk revealed a startling truth. "As a child, I attended an Anglican Sunday school and a Jewish preschool." He wasn't ignorant of religion. He'd been exposed to it all. "At one point, when I was a kid, I had this existential crisis. I tried to figure out what the meaning of life was. And I read a whole bunch of religious books, including the Bible. But instead of answers, he found contradictions. There's a bunch of things in there they didn't teach you in Sunday school," Musk smirked. "Some Gamora, dark, yikes. God sure changes his mind from the Old Testament to the New Testament." I was like, whoa, that's pretty vengeful in the Old Testament. The child Elon had stared at the Bible and felt uneasy. I remember thinking, is there a happy ending here? What happens when a brilliant child reads sacred books and walks away with more questions than comfort? That question would follow Elon his entire life. The interviewer dared to ask the boldest question of all. Would you accept Jesus as your personal savior? Elon paused. The silence stretched. Then, he smiled lightly and said, "Hey, if Jesus is saving people, I wouldn't stand in his way. Sure, I'll be saved. Why not? Not exactly a sermon." He admitted, "I agree with the principles Jesus advocated. Forgiveness, treating others as you wish to be treated, love thy neighbor." Very important. But then, with classic Musk humor, he added, and Jesus was obviously very pro-alcohol. One of his miracles was turning water into wine. They're at a party, they run out of wine. Jesus is like, I got you. The room laughed, but the underlying tension remained. Musk doesn't reject spirituality outright. He questions, jokes, reevaluates, even speaks about the universe possibly being a simulation. In the end, he's still searching. The man who wants to colonize Mars, who designs rockets and imagines artificial intelligence. He may not pray. But maybe, just maybe, the universe still leaves him wondering.